out there, I hope you all can see me.
So my name is Clay, I am 20 years old, and I am looking for a woman that would go out with me. Maybe even some...
So today I'm going to teach you guys how to do basic animation in Flash, mostly because when I do my live streams, that's what most of you ask me about anyway. So we're just going to show you the basic tools that you'll need to learn in order to get started. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the Workspace tab. And the Workspace tab is found under Window down at the bottom under Workspace. And basically it orients the tools in different ways. So I tend to work with the Essentials because it's the least cluttered, at least for me, and it makes sense. A lot of these are really different based on what you're using Flash for. So I tend to use Essentials. They have an animator feature, but it's really cluttered, and I use a Wacom tablet, so the resolution is fairly low. So I tend to want to save on space as much as possible. So I'm going to be using the Essentials screen, but if you find something else that works for you, go ahead and use that. I don't really care. So the next thing you guys need to know for basic animation is the brush tool, which is located over here in your tools tab. And whenever you select any tool down here, it's going to bring up secondary options for that tool down at the bottom. So here you have your size, here you have your shape, and you're going to always want to have pressure turned on if you're using a tablet of some sort. There's also a tilt option down here, but I never typically use it because it doesn't really seem to affect the brush tool at all. The next thing you're going to need to know for basic animation in Flash is frames, and the frames is located down here on your timeline. So a frame is one instance of an image that played together makes the animation. So we have our little frame one right here with our little guy who's waving to us. So let's make a new frame. And to make a new frame, you press F7. And a new frame is going to be blank if you use F7, or it's going to be duplicate of the previous frame if you press F6. So I pressed F7, so now we have a blank frame to work with, but we want to be able to see the previous frame so that we can draw over it. So I'm going to select my brush right here. And you want to click down here on the onion skinning option, and that's going to turn in a little ghost of our previous frame on so that you can trace and animate over the previous frame without, editing the previous frame in any way. So I'm just going to, draw him real quick again. And he's going to wave to us. Hello. How are you? You don't look very bright. But so if we go back and forth between our two frames now, you can see he's waving to us. Hello. But what if you want a certain frame to remain on the screen longer? Well, you could just spam F6 over and over again and make a duplicate frame, or you can hit F5 and extend the current frame. And this is good if you want to edit a certain frame, but you don't want to edit the multiple instances of that frame over and over and over again, because they're each treated as their own instance instead of having one frame span a certain amount of time. So now if he waves, he stays on one frame way longer. The other thing I want to share with you guys is how to manipulate the bracket shape when you select the onion skinning tool. When you select the onion skinning tool, a bracket appears at the top. If you pull the bracket to the left or to the right, you can see more ghosts. You can see more haunting ghosts from the previous frames. This is good to know if you want to see the past or the future frames. The only other thing you guys are going to need to know is how to test your movie. To test your movie, all you need to do is press Control-Enter or Command-Enter if you're on the Mac. So, happy animating! It's not my favorite part of the job, but somebody's got to do it.